What's going on, everyone? I am your keeper of truth, and today we're going to be talking about the biggest unnecessary speed bump in the road to WrestleMania. That's right, we are going to be talking about WWE Fastlane 2021, and as always, here are my predictions for the show. This year's WrestleMania is certainly going to go down in history, that is right, but for the wrong reasons. This is one of the worst road to WrestleManias I have ever been on in my entire life. The road has been extremely bumpy the entire way through, and now we hit this unnecessary speed bump of 2021 Fastlane, and the tire has fallen off of our car. But not only that, it seems like we've seen these matches a million times already. That's right, I'm looking at you, Biggie and Apollo Crews. But don't you worry, I will get to you in just a second. There are some more pressing matters at hand, and that is a match that we don't even know if is actually on the card or not. It's still been advertised. There are some insiders that have been reporting that it's still on the card, but on the WWE website, it is not listed on the match card for Fastlane. And the match that I'm talking about is Braun Strowman taking on Shane McMahon. Stupid, 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 stupid. Now, no matter whether this card is actually on the Fastlane pay-per-view or not, I think it's pretty safe to say that we are going to be getting this for WrestleMania. And, you know, I would prefer that it be left on this card because I don't think that we need to sit through something like this twice. But with that being said, if they do run through it at Fastlane, I would have Shane McMahon somehow, some way going over Braun Strowman. I don't care how they do it, but I could definitely see them going that route and then having Braun get his win back at WrestleMania. That would be a way to run it back. Perhaps have Shane McMahon bend the rules and get a win, kind of cheat to get a win over Braun Strowman here. And then at WrestleMania, they'll go through and it won't be a regular singles match. You know, it'll have a gimmick to it. Falls count anywhere, no disqualification, a cage match, a Hell in a Cell match or something like that. To keep them locked together, I could certainly see that being the case. So for this one, if it actually happens, like I said, I have Shane McMahon taking the W on this one. Okay, so now that that is out of the way, let's get to the actual match card that WWE is promoting for Fastlane currently. The first match that we have is Matt Riddle defending his United States Championship against Mustafa Ali. Now, we saw this match happen on Monday Night Raw this week as well, and Matt Riddle was able to retain his championship, so I'm not quite sure why they are deciding to run this back here, and it worries me so much. It really, 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 really worries me. I do not want to see Mustafa Ali as the United States champion while the Foot Clan is running around on Monday Night Raw looking like a bunch of geeks. It's time to break them up. Okay, now time to get back on track here for this prediction. For this one, for me, for my pick, it has to be having Matt Riddle retain his United States Championship. And what I would do here is I would continue to have problems within the Foot Clan here. So I would have someone else, maybe even T-Bar, once again kind of cost Mustafa Ali the United States Championship, and then just have them continue to slowly disintegrate into nothing here. Ultimately, what I would like to see happen is to have all of the members turn against Mustafa Ali, saying like, hey, you gave us these stupid names, you gave us these stupid outfits, and it's done absolutely nothing for our careers. If anything, it's really hurt our careers. So then you have a little feud between them. Then Mustafa Ali can be great once again without this huge pile of shit that he's carrying around on his back every single week. And then the members of the Foot Clan can go and prosper as well because each and every single one of them is very, very talented. There's no need for them to be caught in this anymore. It's time to put it to an end, and it's also time to have Matt Riddle retain his United States Championship. This next matchup was announced last night on Friday Night SmackDown, and this is one of the reasons why I wait until the night before to do these predictions videos, because I wouldn't have had this one on my list otherwise. So this one should be a really good one. This one will see Shinsuke Nakamura taking on Father Rollins. And I got to tell you, I think that these guys can put on a really good match. So I'm hoping that they'll go out there and burn the house down for this one. And, you know, we really haven't seen really a lot going on for Shinsuke Nakamura since he was in that gauntlet match and since Cesaro signed a new WWE contract. So hopefully this is kind of a way to reset for Shinsuke Nakamura. I hope that he looks strong here, is essentially what I'm trying to go with. Hopefully Shinsuke Nakamura looks really strong here. I do have him losing. I definitely think that Seth Rollins is going to get the win over him. It makes a lot of sense considering that he's probably going to move on to WrestleMania and face off against Cesaro. So obviously the best thing going into that is having both competitors look as strong as they possibly can. So then you can have Cesaro go over Seth Rollins at WrestleMania and kind of build him up and continue to build him up further and further. But hopefully Shinsuke Nakamura can put on a good match here with Seth Rollins, and then he can go on to do other things as well, because I still am waiting for that huge Shinsuke Nakamura push. I am still a firm believer that it should have happened when he was feuding with AJ Styles and he was doing the whole no speak English thing. That was peak Shinsuke Nakamura in WWE for me, and I really feel like they dropped the ball on that one. So anyways, back to the prediction here. I would have Seth Rollins go over Shinsuke Nakamura, and I also wouldn't even be mad if we saw Cesaro come out during this or afterwards and to get a little face-to-face altercation to let us know that WrestleMania we are going to see Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. I think that's the way to go here. Oh boy, now this one should be an exciting one. I'm really not sure what to expect from this one. We have Randy Orton taking on Alexa Bliss in a singles match, an intergender match in WWE on a pay-per-view. Now, is this match actually going to happen? I have absolutely no clue what to expect from this. I really think it's going to be time to let me in. I mean, that's what this entire feud has been built around, right? Trying to stretch out the feud between Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt, and or The Fiend, however you want to say that, until WrestleMania. We are just going to be about 3 weeks or so from WrestleMania now, so I definitely think it's time to bring back The Fiend. It is definitely time to let him in and move forward with all of this. So I don't know what's going to happen in the match, but my prediction is that The Fiend returns finally, and I hope and pray to Father Rollins that he has a new appearance. I would love to see like a burnt face mask, maybe new attire, something like that. Maybe something that reflects him being burnt alive or something. That would be really cool. I'm going to be very disappointed if it's just the same old Fiend that we've seen time and time again. They really need to change it up with him, and they really need to do something crazy going into WrestleMania with Randy Orton, because this feud has just gotten so stale for me that I don't even want to see it continue. I really don't. So hopefully they do something really, really crazy, and I'm really looking forward to seeing The Fiend return here. It's got to happen. Now is the time. Any other time is too late. Next up, we have former WWE Champion Drew McIntyre taking on Sheamus in a no-holds-barred match. Now, I'm sure that this match is going to be very good. It's going to be crazy. These two are going to beat the absolute hell out of each other. I just wish that we wouldn't have seen this match so many times leading up to it. This will be the third time that we've seen them fight. And the last time that we saw them fight, they were in a no disqualification match, I believe. And even that managed to end in a no contest with both of them hitting each other with the steel steps in the head. And they were just kind of laid out from it. So this one will be very interesting to see what happens. I definitely have Drew McIntyre getting the win over Sheamus here. And I think something that would have made a little bit more sense as well is that instead of announcing Bobby Lashley defending his WWE Championship against Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania, they should have at least waited, and they should have made this match a number one contenders match. So whoever would have won it obviously would have went to main event one of the nights of WrestleMania and would have gotten an opportunity to take on Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship. I just think that would have made so much more sense, even though we all know that Drew McIntyre is headed that way and everything before it was even announced. I just think it would make a lot more sense here. P.S. We all still really want to see bearded Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship. Thank you. Don't you guys worry, I certainly didn't forget about you, and I'm talking about Big E defending his Intercontinental Championship against Apollo Crews once again. Why is this a thing? Why is this happening again? This is what, the fourth or fifth time that Big E has defended his Intercontinental Championship against Apollo Crews in the span of like, what, 2 months, 3 months now? I I really just don't understand why they keep running this back over and over and over again. And even at this point, I have no clue what they have in store for WrestleMania. And I hope and pray to Father Rollins that it's not another Big E versus Apollo Crews match for the Intercontinental Championship. And if it's a multi-man match, like a 6-man ladder match or something like that, I still don't want Apollo Crews to be a part of it. The thing that WWE continues to do right now is that the only way they have feuds continue is to just keep fighting each other over and over and over and over again. There's no creativity involved in any of it. So, of course, Big E and Apollo Crews have just been going back and forth ever since the day that Big E won the Intercontinental Championship. There needs to be other character development here. Once Apollo Crews was not given another opportunity, he should have done his heel turn and he should have been beating the hell out of everyone he came across. And then you could have Big E saying, look, I've defended my Intercontinental Championship against you enough, like it's over. But then you could have everyone's favorite authority, not so authority figure Adam Pearce chime in and be like, look, man, you can't deny that he's been winning the matches and he's earned it. So at WrestleMania, we are going to have Big E defending his Intercontinental Championship against Apollo Crews. Whether you like it or not, it just is what it is. I think that would have been the much better way to go about it. And at the end of the day, I still don't think that Apollo Crews is going to be the person to dethrone Big E. I think that Big E should hold the title for quite a while. So I think that makes all of this even more meaningless. And I really think it takes away from the cool heel turn that we just saw from Apollo Crews. I certainly was not expecting it myself. We have finally arrived at the biggest speed bump of them all. That is right, I am talking about Big and Shayna Baszler defending their WWE Women's Tag Team Championships against the SmackDown Women's Champion, Sasha Banks, and the Women's Royal Rumble winner, Bianca Belair. Why is it that WWE is so focused on teaming up Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair? They should be feuding. Sasha Banks is going to be defending her SmackDown Women's Championship against Bianca Belair in about 3 weeks at WrestleMania. So why they continue to try to team them up instead of trying to actually tell a good story here makes absolutely no sense. And to be honest, this match itself just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And this is really classic WWE here, painting themselves into a corner. You have a very dominant WWE Women's Tag Team Champions with Big and Shayna Baszler. They've been pretty much unstoppable together. Shayna Baszler, not so much on her own, but Big has certainly been a force to be reckoned with. Certainly, she's got wins over Sasha Banks and Asuka during all of this. So having them win is probably the best bet, and that's what I would predict. That would be my prediction, is having Big and Shayna Baszler going over here. But at the end of the day, it looks really, really bad to have your SmackDown Women's Champion, Sasha Banks, lose. And it looks really bad to have your Royal Rumble winner, Bianca Belair, lose as well. And they have not been booked strong at all on this road to WrestleMania. It's been crazy. They've been taking L's left and right, disqualifications, no contest, like all of that stuff makes them look weak. And I really thought that Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair could have headlined one of the nights of WrestleMania. I really thought that they deserved it, but at this point, the story is not there. The heat is not there for that feud. So unfortunately, I think that their match at WrestleMania is going to suffer from that. And, you know, maybe the best route that they'll go about this here is that maybe Sasha Banks will turn heel and she'll attack Bianca Belair and we'll finally get going on our road to WrestleMania here. Or maybe, you know, they'll do the unthinkable. Maybe it will be Bianca Belair to turn on Sasha Banks and start the road to WrestleMania there. Either way, I have Big and Shayna Baszler retaining their WWE Women's Tag Team Championships and carrying them all the way to WrestleMania. We have finally arrived at the end of the road here, and it is time for our main event match of Fastlane, and that is Roman Reigns defending his Universal Championship against Daniel Bryan with Special Ring Enforcer Edge. Now, most of you know I've been saying this for a while. I definitely think that this year's WrestleMania, the big match, should have been Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan for the Universal Championship, and I think that they're going to kind of sneak that in here as well. So here's my prediction. I would have the ultimate opportunist Edge find a way to screw Daniel Bryan out of this match, because at the end of the day, Edge wants to take on Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. That's his big match. He wants to be the one to dethrone Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. So have him screw Daniel Bryan out of this match here to ensure that he goes to WrestleMania and faces Roman Reigns. Now, after this happens, you could have Daniel Bryan be upset, mad, angry, whatever it is that you want to call it, and he'll go to Adam Pearce or whoever it is he needs to go to. Maybe he'll talk down towards Edge, or hell, maybe he'll even talk down to your tribal chief Roman Reigns. And while he's doing this, he'll be able to insert himself into this match. I definitely think that the triple threat is the better way to go for WrestleMania. So at the end of the day, you would have Roman Reigns defending his Universal Championship against Edge and Daniel Bryan. Now they could have multiple outcomes here. If you want to put the strap on Edge, you could do it here. You could have Edge beat Daniel Bryan. That way you could say that Roman Reigns never took the pin. Yeah, he still lost, but he didn't take the pin. You get the deal, right? You could also have Roman Reigns defeat Daniel Bryan. There you go. Say Edge never lost. You could continue that going forward. That's a very WWE thing to do, but who knows? Maybe they are actually going to put the strap on Edge at WrestleMania. It's a crazy thing to think of. I can't imagine that they would have worked so hard to get Roman in the position that he's in now. Like, the guy is on top of the world. He's performing better than anyone else in the company. He is the thing to come to SmackDown to see. He is the pinnacle of the company right now. So taking the Universal Championship off of him doesn't seem like the greatest idea, but I could certainly see them doing it. So it only makes sense for Edge to screw Daniel Bryan out of this match and have Roman Reigns walk out and still Universal Champion. Alright guys, that is going to do it for my Fastlane 2021 predictions. You'll have to let me know down in the comments what your predictions are. I will be going through them all day today and replying to everyone who leaves a comment. I'm very excited to see what you guys think about the predictions, and hopefully this one turns out to be really good. Lately, WWE has just been nailing their pay-per-views when it comes to in-ring quality and all of that stuff. The promotions and hype towards them hasn't been that great, but they've really delivered when it comes time for the actual pay-per-view. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. I always greatly appreciate it. If you haven't, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that like button as well. Also, I have finally set up channel membership, so if that's something that you're interested in, go ahead and check out that join button down below next to the subscribe button, and you can become a disciple today. We'll have a lot of fun together. I hope to do some retro reviews and some watch-alongs with people. Like I said before, I am itching to watch All In, and I can't wait to do that with some members. So anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it, and I will see you all on Sunday for the Fastlane 2021 post show. Peace.